set down.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh, what's up, everybody?
There's nobody on yet.
Yes, all the people.
They can't rewatch it.
There's
So,
nobody even watching
but
it.
in the meantime, oh, wait a
There
minute.
you go.
Let me turn that down. Let me turn it down.
All right, I only pray we can see well enough to be able to answer questions.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this right.
Same.
What's up, guys? All right, let's get in a little bit. I like the peace sign thing. It's good evening, good evening. That seems, does that seem too far
Knocked
away?
over
Huh?
our prop.
Our one prop. Does that seem too
Can't even
far
see our
away to you? Yeah, see. Do you work with women as well as men? We're actually doing a new thing tomorrow, so I don't want to speak too highly on it yet. We're doing a first time we're working with couples. I work with men primarily. That's what I do. So I'm really good at being like helping the guys work through the stuff to help them be better men. All of us want to get better. We all are trying to improve and be better for our families and our kids. We want to be better. And so that's where I work mostly. We're doing our first thing with couples tomorrow. And so this is more of a, like, we're testing it out first. We're doing a beta program before we go into it.
Yeah. It does look off.
Let me try
sitting.
to
I think
fix
you're
it.
sitting further back.
I could just be turned, baby.
What?
I mean, I could just turn it a little bit more.
Maybe
move it
scoot
a
up to
little
the
bit?
chair. Scoot up to the table.
Touching the...
Yeah, so am I.
I love you.
Wait.
I'm going to move that thing, okay?
So we're trying a different setup just to try to like balance out some things. And you guys are seeing us like in action trying to get this right because neither one of us can see well. So I'm like, okay, rather than writing the questions down every night to try to keep track, I have my phone open, so hopefully that'll help too to keep track of everybody's questions. So thank you. Appreciate that comment.
Someday we'll be high level.
You know, it's fine.
We're going to be awesome one day.
It is. You are awesome already.
Let's see.
Oh, good. I'm glad this is the first time you're joining the live.
Scoot over a little bit. Let's get you in the middle. Okay.
Okay.
It's not centered, but we're doing better.
Yeah. I gotta put my glasses on.
I know.
New Zealand,
Ooh,
hello.
welcome, New Zealand.
I can see.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about love. We're going to get into some of the stuff that we've been watching happening with couples. We're going to talk a little bit about love language stuff because we've been watching people enjoy the love language conversation. And, what a grand entrance. Welcome from Illinois. What's that, Daddy Pick? All right.
Yeah, what city are you from?
So we're going to get into some of that stuff. You love the city thing.
I like when people say where they're from. That's me. I like to know where people are living.
Oh, yeah, you watched the Disney Princesses thing. So
yeah, that was good.
I actually saved that. I put that, it's on our YouTube channel. So if you go into the link at the top, I put in the YouTube channel one of the conversations where I kind of went off as far as like the Disney princesses and what women are being taught, or girls, I should say. Girls are being taught they're supposed to be, and how it's kind of working backwards against them. Us having 3 teenage girls ourselves, we're kind of like, we got to train them to be better than what TV is telling them to be, because they have to be capable, have skills, have abilities, be able to problem solve, take care of their, like, bring value to the relationships they're going to have, instead of, being Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella. So you look pretty, but you don't really do anything else. Or, so there's a funny conversation that I got into with that one. But if you watch it on our YouTube, just subscribe to that and check it out, because I was going in hot that one day. I was coming in hard.
Yeah. Let me see what the name is.
Let's see how efficient this is, babe. So she's using her phone right now.
Okay.
To see your comments, so we can go through them a little easier.
Bad Donkey. Okay, so he's from Utah. Welcome. My marriage is hopeless. I tried everything and it failed. So are you divorced now?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, I should be curious.
A lot of people from Australia.
Yeah,
how is it going in Australia? Please tell us.
Yeah,
I think about you guys often.
Our group tonight had an Australian guy. From Australia's in the group.
That's awesome.
That we had tonight. So that was we got some good Australian people.
Yeah.
I like.
Oh, okay. So you're still married. Okay, got it.
So a lot of times I would alter a little bit of what you said, that I've tried everything and failed. You tried everything that you knew and failed. So right now it's just there's something that you don't know that you don't know. And whenever I work with guys on it, it's just that piece of information they're missing to make it so they don't know what, like, for example, an unmet need is. A lot of times when you see an anger or outburst or some sort of argument that comes out, each argument is a tragic expression of an unmet need. This could be to be heard, or it could be to feel more respected, or it could be that they don't feel honored in the relationship, or they could feel a betrayal, or they could feel that someone's breaking a promise, or there's something that somebody needs as far as their values that's not being met. But a lot of times people aren't very aware of what that is. So we had the conversation about, like, ordering a drink, like, hey, bartender, get me something good. And the bartender goes, okay, do you want orange juice? They're like, no. Do you want milk? No. Do you want, beer? No. Do you want lemonade? No. And after a while of just saying, here's the things I like, and they go, that's not what I want, you start saying, this is a bad bartender. They don't know what they're doing. They suck at their job. But all the time, you didn't actually order a drink specifically. You just said, get me something good. But that's a subjective order, which means people don't know what's good to you. And so when you're in love, you're loving people the way that you want to be loved. I like to be held, or I like to be, have nice words of affirmation, or I like when people buy me gifts, and I like those things. But then they're not actually ordering anything. They just say, give me love. And you're trying all the things that you think are love. And they're saying, you're not good at love. You're not loving me right. You're not doing love. But you are doing love, just not what their need is or what their values need. And without them being able to order, I would like water with lemon and a straw. You'd be like, I'm happy to get you water with lemon. I'll do that. I'll get you water, no problem. You just have to tell me what you want to drink.
Yeah.
And that's where people really run into it, where they're trying to love people the way that they love.
In my house. Yeah.
And it's painful when you're loving authentically and you're loving openly and you're doing acts of service and you're cleaning around the house and you fixed the car and you took out the garbage and you made the bed, and you're like, see, I love you. And they go, I didn't hear you say it once. You're like, what? So all day I worked on the not valued. What? When people start getting really frustrated.
Yeah.
It's very painful when you're doing your best love and told your love sucks.
Yeah.
But that's not it. You're just not understanding what each other's needs are and not able to give them what they need without knowing what it is. How do you get them something good if they don't know what good means to them?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people are like, I feel like I'm doing, this Heather says, I feel like I'm doing everything I know how to do to show love, but he hasn't felt it for 20 years.
So there's something inside of him that's his unmet need. And a lot of times people don't know what it is, because self-reflection is not a skill taught in high school. Mm-hmm. This isn't a class that you missed. This wasn't something I even remember being talked about when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So being able to do introspection of what is it that my missing piece is, this is a muscle that's never been used, but it's at the core essentials for, like, how we operate throughout our lives. How we love, how we take things, the filters that we see things with, what we add to the story. But we're not taught how to navigate that. And that's why, I do what I do, because I help people see this is the piece that you are using, and that's why you only see it this way. But here, let's move this. Mm-hmm. Now take a look. And they go, oh my gosh, was that there the whole time? You're like, yeah, it was in your blind spot. Right. You didn't know to look there, though.
Yeah. Looking inward is so difficult. Yeah, it can be. Yeah. So, I don't know what's easier. I think doing it the old way. But let me read some of these comments. Absolutely spot on. I engage every new relationship with some digging into love language concepts. Okay, so they're talking about love languages. This guy, Joe, says, going through a divorce, she's trying to take the kids. I'm a superb father. I'm so heartbroken. Yeah. My advice to you, Joe, too, would be, I go straight to, like, making sure that you know what the laws are in your state with that, because typically if the guy wants to see her or your kids and to have equal parenting time, hopefully you guys can work something out. So
That's tough,
it's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good dads. The system's a little rigged right now. So there are some guys that are bad guys. There are some guys who don't care, some guys that are deadbeat dads. There are some bad guys. But then there's guys like Joe who's like, no, I really want to be there for my kids. I want to be a father. I want to be a dad. And the system still treats them like they're deadbeat dads.
Yeah.
It's not set up right now. It's not working.
Yeah.
And it's working so heavily against guys right now that even false accusations and such go that way. I had a guy who was going through a divorce, close friend of mine, and his lawyer, his attorney said, I think he was in Michigan, his attorney said, I don't think you understand how stacked in the mom's favor it is. He's like, I'll give you an example. If she was a drug addict and she was addicted to drugs, and they found the kid in there with, like, you know, addicts and drugs on the table, and they took the kids out, they would take the kids out long enough, you'd have the kids just long enough for her to go through rehab, and then they would give her the kids back, even if you're an upstanding father. Like, the system is geared so far towards women that, like, even good dads are just, it's like ice skating uphill. It's like, no matter what you do, it's like a really difficult battle. Now, I would say I have seen more success in that realm where, like, I'm not saying a lot, like maybe a few notches up, where I have seen guys actually getting their 50-50 or guys actually winning some of these, because the shift in society is really weird right now.
And pureness, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, was like, you'll probably get joint custody. The judge looks at what's best for the kids, and the judge, I went through this, and the judge does look what's best for the kids. And we had joint custody, and you know, we were able to come to an agreement on that of how we wanted to handle the kid's situation. And so every situation is going to be different, but my best advice would be make sure you show up for every appointment, like court appearance that you can. Don't miss anything, and just stay firm on what you want. And the judge will be able to hopefully see that, and be able to make what's best for the kids in that situation.
Yeah. We're cheering for you, Joe. I hope you get to be the good dad that you are, man.
Yeah, unless they're found neglectful.
It's so painful, man. I've got a guy who's starting in our new group, and like just his heart is broken in half because his kids were taken away, and he just can't even talk about it without just being in tears. He's like, they took my kids. Like, I want to be the dad for them, and I can't even see them.
And that's what's so sad. It's like, you know, it's one thing to get a divorce and not agree. And I went through a very challenging divorce with a very challenging person, but we were still able to agree on what was best for the kids. We can agree on anything else, but we could agree on that part. And so I wish more people would ensure that they focus on what is best for the kids, not their own personal needs or what they want. And a lot of people use it as a weapon, the kids as a weapon, and that's not fair to do to kids. It just hurts them in the long run.
Yeah.
So, I wish you the best of luck. Keep us posted on how that's going. Yeah.
My suggestion would be, ladies, stop using kids as weapons.
Don't do that.
It's going to backfire hard on good women, too. When bad women do bad things, it raises awareness to things that are going to hurt good women and good men.
Yeah.
So these behaviors is one of those things that, like, almost societally we need to almost speak out or make sure we're making the right decisions, because if women do too much harm when they're given authority, even good women will start taking that authority away from bad women. It's going to raise the qualifications, raise the levels that people go like, are you going to be one of those or are you going to be one of these? Like, are you a good woman or are you a bad woman? Like, which one are you? Because it's going to start raising the level of, like, I guess, what would it be, like the interview process or the qualifications are going to change. It's going to probably end up balancing out at some point, but ladies, just start watching what women are doing, because it's going to start affecting you in a very negative way.
You know, and I know this is our live in our group and stuff. But I will tell you, with Rick being a men's coach, it's really opened my eyes to so many things. It's really opened my awareness to the responses that we get from women when they don't agree with something that's been said. For example, he made a post the other night that was talking about the things that men are going through, and that he's had 4 men in this specific week that are going through one thing, right? The specific thing. He didn't say, he didn't add to it, like women never go through this. He didn't add anything to it. Well, there was someone that, of course, jumping in the comments like, I'm going to unfollow. Okay, then unfollow. That's fine. But people add so much of their own. And it's honestly, it's usually just women. The majority of it's women that are adding to the conversation. And we don't answer, or we don't respond usually to those negative comments, because other people end up flooding it out anyway. But it just, women tend to be a little bit more judgmental when it comes to the comments, and they kind of make up their own story when it comes to our posts, for sure.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we haven't really tried to feed any of the negativity. We don't have to, because you'll see people try and change the subject. Hey, what's up, Isaiah? I see you, bud.
Hi.
When people try and change the topic in the middle of it, make it about them, we kind of just let the people who are really going through it flood that out. And so we feed the good wolf, not the bad wolf.
Yeah.
And so you'll see someone go in there and put some negativity and some judgments and some hate into the group, but then you'll see like 50 comments of guys going, no, this is really my life, or that really happened to me, or no, this is true, this happened to me too, you know. And you see guy after guy going, no, this is really happening right now. And so for every like one negative comment, there's like 20 guys going, this is true. And it makes it really difficult for the negativity to grow in an environment where people have too much awareness. You know, it's almost like we used to do this in our old group, where we saw, we were doing a health group, and a guy posted him on stage in like his fitness, like, you know, underwear or whatever, posing all ripped out. And he was like, this looks like fitness, but I was dehydrated, I was malnourished, I wasn't taking care of myself, my body was at a maximum fatigue. This wasn't actually healthy, even though I'm on stage like posing to be like the epitome of health. And somebody went in and they were saying, hey, this is a really, you know, stupid post, I hate this, I don't like this, you know, you're just showing off, blah, blah, blah. But what we did was like got everybody together saying, no. We don't feed the negativity.
Right.
So we went in and we said, thank you so much for having the courage to share this. Thank you for doing like this kind of a post to raise awareness that people have a misunderstanding of what health might be. And just, you know, a lot of positivity through a bunch of people in there going like positive, thank you, this was cool, thanks for your courage. And that same person's negative post next was like, well, okay, yeah, I can kind of see what you guys are talking about. Okay. If you feed the negativity, it makes more negativity. But if you feed positivity, it makes it weird to be negative. Yeah. And that's where we've been trying to do this even with our own, like with you guys. You guys have enough going on to not have somebody spewing hate into your ear. You guys have so many problems. All of us are getting challenged by life. And to have somebody who wants to change the topic to hatred, change the topic for judgments or shame or blame, we don't really have a lot of time for other people's, like, I guess, hurting people, their hurt to be spewed on you. So we just try and make it so that we don't feed those ones, and we really draw attention to the people who are like, this is my life, where do I go? Mm-hmm.
And Pepsi, you're right. Sometimes we just want to hear what we want to hear, and we create our own narrative.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It happens a lot. A lot.
We call it the filters.
Yes,
we call it.
Absolutely. Melissa, congratulations on starting your own journey on self-therapy is what you call it. I like it. Good job. You're new to the self-care journey. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I think the best advice I would have for you is make sure that you surround yourself with people that want that for you as well. Because sometimes when you start to grow and you start to share, not everybody is going to be like cheering you on. So just be cautious of that.
Be aware of the people who want you to do good, but not better than them.
Yeah. So there was a question. This guy said, my gal will cut off a conversation with him if her dad calls, which is interesting. Is this... so my question is, are you there, like you guys live together and then she's like, everything stops, my dad's calling? Or are you on the phone with her dad calls and she's like, I gotta go, and then talks to her dad? That would be my first question.
I don't know what the dad's situation is either. If he's like sick or something bad is happening, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the situation for that to have any help.
Someone asked, and I'll watch for your answer, the question that I just, on the phone. He's not sick, but very overbearing.
Oh, so like, are you guys married or are you guys just dating? Like if this is something where it's the excuse to stop talking to you, I don't know if that's what, or like you're prioritized under dad, so when he calls, you just get dropped. Like, I guess I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah. Long-term relationship, not married.
I'm married.
Okay.
So this is where like the values things comes in again. If you don't know what your values or your needs are, people will just push their priorities onto you because you don't know where your ground is. You don't know where you're supposed to stand. And obviously getting aggressive isn't going to work, but being passive isn't working. So understanding yourself to the point where you can go, hey, this isn't an important boundary of mine that you are disrespecting. It's important that we have an agreement of whether this is appropriate or not. So when dad calls, we already agreed that you take that call. Or when dad calls, we agree you call him back later if it's not an emergency. And if you go, hey, Pops, is it an emergency? He's like, no, I just wanted to tell you, rah, rah, rah. And you're like, Dad, listen, I'm talking with so-and-so. I got to let you go, but I'll call you as soon as we're done. Like, we have an agreement. Mm-hmm. If there's no agreement, someone will just force their agenda on you. And if you feel like you're being forced their agenda on you and being disrespected, your values are no longer valued, your needs are not being met, and you feel backburnered, you're going to have to really either try to work on the agreement together, and if someone's not trying to be agreeable at all, you have to really establish what type of long-term relationship is this going to look like with someone who doesn't respect your values or needs. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's a match, just so you guys know.
Right.
Not everyone is, and you can try, but some people are unwilling to try. And if you're with somebody who's not willing to even make an agreement of how to respect each other, what are real problems going to look like when they come up?
Yeah. What does it mean when a guy says he doesn't feel needed?
It probably means he doesn't feel needed.
Yeah.
It means that. He really feels like
nothing else but that.
He doesn't have any value. He doesn't have any reason that he's there. He doesn't feel like he's needed. And he may be right. I don't know your dynamic. But if somebody says, I don't feel like I'm needed here, he probably means he doesn't feel like he's needed here. So what makes him feel valued? Mm-hmm. What can he do that brings purpose to the dynamic?
Do you let him do things for you?
Yeah. Or do you just shut him down? Like
I got it.
What's the situation? Yeah. What does he do that makes it so he can make things easier for you and vice versa?
Yeah.
But if he's like, I got nothing I do here, he may really, really feel like I don't feel needed.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with the dynamic where if, maybe you're over controlling or whatever. I let him do things for me.
You do let him do things?
Okay. Well, even the sentence, I let him do things for me. This is... He may not feel like he's needed. Like it's like, hey, I can move this, but if you want to move it for me, he's like, hey, you don't need me to move that. Like, I don't know what his thing is or what his mm-hmm. contribution to the relationship is. I don't know if it's protection, providing, presiding. I don't know what he is, but if he feels like you're the leader and you don't need him there, the dynamic will make him feel useless.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Someone asked, how do you tell if you have a bad therapist?
It's not working. That's a good way to start. Here's the thing that I've seen with therapists. If they're giving you tasks or not giving you tools, that's a good sign of a bad therapist. If somebody wants to open up Pandora's box for you, all the stuff you've pushed down, and then when time's up, we'll see you next week, that's a bad therapist. If you've got someone who's not giving you assignments or homework or new tools to work with, that's a bad therapist. If someone just tells you to go into your deepest, darkest hurt and then leaves you hanging with no way to deal or cope with it, that's a bad therapist. Look for things that make it so you feel like you're left high and dry. There are good therapists, and there are good counselors, and there are good social workers. There's good people in the psychology realm, But there are some people who just want to give their opinion, or some people who just burn and churn through so many people that there's almost no investment or no care into what people are going through.
Yeah.
So really assess whether there's value given, or if it's just somebody who just listens to you and says good luck, asks you hard questions with no new tools, and then leaves you to the wolves.
Yeah.
You know, those are big telltale signs that, and this works with all things, whether it be coaching and anything, even if you're working with somebody on any skill where they're just kind of leaving you out there and going, hey, throw some balls, or hey, you know, figure out the thing, or take some shots. I'm not going to tell you how to improve it. That's not really that's not good coach, good therapist, good counselor, good anything.
Right. Phil has a question.
Hey, Phil.
How do you handle self-improvement fatigue? Scheduling routines have helped. More reps, or
it's all balance,
what do you do?
bud. Find a way to balance out, and we have to do that too. We do a lot of work. I've been doing I just did a 2-hour class right before we jumped on this. So like, we work and we grow and we build. I put together another group this morning, but then also I have to find balance outside of this. I got to find balance to love on her. I got to find balance to love with my girls. I got to take care of my dogs. You know, so we got to find balance in that too. And also I have to take, like, tomorrow is my day to refill my cup because I give all week. You know, so I'm taking on a lot of people's pain throughout the week, so I have to find a way to unload. Get a good workout in, take some, you know, a little extra rest. I got to find a way to recharge so I can be my best for you guys also. So Phil, find some balance, but it's good for you to be working, but also find a way to outlet and unload and relax and heal and go through the stuff that makes it so you can be your best you, because you already know that if you're trying to power lift while you're fatigued, it's not going to be very helpful.
Yeah.
You may do more harm than good. So rest is a good part of it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks,
Richard Lee Frazier, 40.
Richard Lee Frazier, 40. It's good to have you here, bud. Thank you for praying for us.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Someone also said, if you get triggered by something, isn't it a you thing?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, the answer is yes. I think Mike Tyson said it best.
Oh.
He said if somebody, what's up?
Oh, no, go ahead. I see Rebecca's question. We're going to answer that. It caught my attention.
If somebody makes you mad, or somebody makes you triggered, or somebody makes you do something, just that terminology itself, if somebody is making you do something against your will, this is not your enemy. This is your master. And if somebody is making you have an emotion, they're making you be a certain way, they're making you have to outburst, or they're making you scream, or they're not an enemy. That's the person controlling you. And so you become a slave to what they're making you do. If you don't want to be a slave to them making you angry, making you triggered, or making you do something that you don't agree with, that is internal. You do have to choose to do that. You don't have to be like their subordinate. You don't have to let them be your master. That's a choice that you make. And if you're not trained and you're very irrational and reactionary and you don't have that under control, you're not actually an opponent. You're the subordinate. You're not the master. You're not in control. They control you. So you're not fighting an enemy. You're fighting your master. They control you. So yes, if you're getting triggered, that's you getting triggered, not them making you triggered unless you allow them to be your master.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's answer this one really quick. I see you two work together as husband and wife, but if you two didn't work together, would that be a problem?
We do not always work together.
We don't.
She has her own job. And it is very nice for her to have her own thing.
Yeah, it's important for me to have my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I've said this multiple times, but my role in what it is that he does, I try to help with a little bit more of the structure part of it. So sometimes I'll go through and confirm appointments, or just remind him of the appointments he had. I'm like a part-time personal assistant for him, because that's all the time I have right now. But and then support the wives or the girlfriends too, just making sure that they know how to support their man as they're going through this coaching program. Okay. We had some good questions. My son-in-law and daughter's therapist told her to lower her bar.
I don't know what her bar is.
Okay.
I mean, it may be. Sometimes
asking him to clean up and participate is having the bar too high.
Oh, no. So I think this falls into a little more encouragement versus punishment. I think people try to force people to be something different instead of like encourage them to be something different. This goes along with one of my least favorite phrases that we train almost week 2 in our program is being able to raise your awareness of being able to see certain sentences like the way I was raised or what I'm used to doing or I haven't done that. So like when you start sentences off with the way I was raised, it's almost making it so it's the excuse to do something that you hated done to you. Just because somebody did something bad doesn't mean you have to do it bad. That's called, like, this is why we break the curses of like generational curses and family stuff. Because somebody wasn't good doesn't mean you don't have to be either. And so they're like, well, my dad used to slap me. Did you like getting slapped? No. Why do you want to slap the kids then? Like, don't do the things you didn't like done. And so what we found is when it comes to punishment to make them clean their room, it's not lowering the bar, it's raising your encouragement and praising effort. So a lot of times people are praising results only. Did you win? Did you get first place? Did you clean the room the way I wanted it? Are the dishes the way that I wanted it to be? And if it's not perfect, people get angry. And then they'll go back to what they were raised like. And then they'll do behavior that they didn't like when it was done to them. But if you praise effort, people will do more effort. With our girls even, I noticed a big change. Instead of going like, hey, if you don't do this, you're going to lose a privilege. If you don't do this, you're going to get in trouble. If you don't do this. No, I started going, hey, I saw you did your best at this, and I'm really proud of you for trying hard.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw that you fell down on that thing, and I'm not worried about first place or last place, but I'm so proud of you for getting up and not laying down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of the person or character you have for continuing to go even when everyone else has already gone past you. It's being able to encourage the effort, not the results, and don't punish, because punishment doesn't make people motivated.
Yeah.
But being praised and saying, I'm proud of you for doing the work, even if it wasn't perfect, they'll want to do more of the work because you're praising their effort, not just is it right or is it wrong. It doesn't matter because you get better with practice. Praise the practice, praise the effort, and you'll see somebody get better. So if you say, hey, I saw that you were cleaning your room. I'm really proud of you for putting in the effort. Do you see anything in here that you would maybe want to improve? And they'll go, well, I do know that my lamp's not supposed to be like that. And you go, I think that you're seeing some things that could be better. I'm really proud of you for that.
Yeah.
And now you're praising for doing better. Is this the best place for your shoes, or how do you think we could do a better job? And they'll go, well, I like the shoes there. As long as you're happy with it, then this is your room. So as long as you feel good with it, that was what you believe is best in this moment. So good job finding what you believe is best. You get to learn them, accept them for that, and then praise them for the effort. Not is your room the way I want it to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the podcast is on Spotify. It's called The Choice. TheChoice.
Hi, Lauren. Good to see you on here.
Hey, Lauren.
Okay, so what are the warning signs of a woman who likes to control?
Ooh, you are a woman who likes to control. Go ahead and answer that one.
Sometimes being bossy. Sometimes can be a worrier.
Where do you think your control comes from?
Who, me?
Yeah.
You
You value control very highly.
Because I've never been able to really put my trust in specifically guys.
Okay.
And so when it comes to relationships, I've been known to make sure I have my finger on the pulse of everything, because if I feel like I lose control, people take advantage of me or someone will leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's what, that's why I like control.
Fear of being abandoned, fear of being used,
all comes from the
fear
childhood.
of being treated poorly.
Yep.
It's all
And I'm
fear-based.
going to control things, which is not a good way to handle it at all, but it's because it does yourself such a disservice. You find yourself worrying and just like you can be so uptight sometimes, and so that's yeah, for sure.
So here's the thing. Whenever anything starts with the word fear, you have to at least acknowledge from the beginning this is a possible future that most of the time doesn't happen. Now, it may have happened 1 out of 1,000 times or 1 out of 1,000,000 times, but because it happened once, I don't want that to happen again. But because you're focused on that one time it happened or that one thing that hurt really bad, you completely ignore the thousands of times it doesn't go wrong.
Yeah.
And that's the part I think that the good guys out there who are like, listen, she's trying to control everything because she's scared that her ex did this, that I'm going to do this. But she's not also taking inventory, but I haven't done that.
Yeah.
And how is that supposed to work?
And it's not fair to the other person if if they're doing something that's similar to what has hurt you in the past, but you call it the same thing and it's really not. You're just assuming it is. I've been known to do that too. So.
And it's not real.
Yeah, it's not.
It's made up. You're fighting make-believe.
Yeah, my mom said to me one time, and I'm probably going to get this all twisted up, and then we'll just have to move on quickly. But my mom said to me once, she's like, if you spend all your time worrying about the future, clearly this is not coming from her, it's been said multiple times, then it takes away from the current and present situation you're in. And also sometimes when you're worrying about the things that you can't control, or you're trying to control, sometimes those things will never even happen in the first place. So you're spending all this wasted time and energy on things that you don't even know are going to happen. So for me, I mean, I was much younger when we had this conversation. So it was like a light bulb for me that went off. I was like, yeah, you're right. And that kind of chilled me out a bit.
Yeah, there's the one good scene in After Earth with Will Smith where he talks about fear is not real. And I put that even in my book. So I saw that, some of the people have read the book. And in the fear chapter, fear is not real. I do believe this, and this is how I fight fear all the time. It's the equivalent of a giant screaming shadow monster. And so when I work with my guys, it's that a giant shadow monster. And it's one of those things where it like paralyzes people with like, oh no, giant monster. This thing is loud and scary, and oh no, it could go really wrong, And I encourage guys to go take a little bit of self-reflection. Look back at a time when you were really focused on a goal, or you were really focused on learning like a skill like guitar or shooting basketballs or whatever, when you had a focus and you were watching your target and you're looking at your goals, and there may be obstacles in the way, but you were just way too tunnel vision to be able to see it. Well, those shadow monsters were there like, but you're like, I'm so focused on my thing that you walk right through the shadow monsters, and people are like, whoa, you just walked right through that shadow monster, and you're like, I didn't even see it. I was so focused on my goal, I missed it. Fear is not real. And so when you're focused on something that maybe could possibly happen in the future, all of the feelings associated with that make-believe reality start to slow you down and create a belief system that you shouldn't do this because it could go wrong.
Yeah.
But whenever I work with guys, I go, how often has it really gone that direction you were worried about? And they're like, well, truthfully, almost never. I'm like, so you're stopping yourself on a possibility of something that has a very low probability of happening. Now, if there's something you truly should be prepared for, prepare. But most of the time that never happens. And so you're preparing for things that usually you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Things really difficult for like women operate in a spider web pattern where everything is connected. Hard to be prepared for everything. So it's hard to eliminate it down to the most likely ways to do it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to controlling, when people are operating from a place of fear, it's best to reassure the reality of things instead of trying to compensate for all the things that could go wrong, because you guys are both now just living in a false reality and make-believe, and you're trying to take care of things that never will happen.
Absolutely. So this guy says, as a guy, my wife is treating me, and I think there's supposed to be a word there, if I don't give her what she wants, how do I deal with this? Treating you like how? Let us know how she's treating you. My wife is treating me blank.
Thanks,
If I don't give her what she wants, how do I deal with this?
Also, I sent a message to Tyler. Have him message me back, please.
Yeah. Same thing was happening to me. Read about the 5 love languages. Well, it depends on, I'm assuming it's a negative comment about, as far as what what she's doing if you don't give her what she wants. But that's what my kids
Is it a temper
do.
tantrum? is it saying blame, shame, and judgment? Is it threatening? I'm interested to hear, because sometimes, and I'm not saying that she's not, but sometimes people mistake some of the ways that people are saying as threatening. A lot of times people will even hear girls say a thing and think that she's complaining when really it's just a statement. So like, say a girl says like, "Oh, I'm so cold." That's not a complaint. It's not a request. It's not a demand. It's simply a statement. But guys will be like, "Oh, let me get you a blanket, or I'll get you a hoodie, or I'll turn the thermostat down." And she's like, "What are you doing? I didn't ask for anything." "Well, you were complaining about how cold it is in here." "I didn't complain about that." "Yes, you did. You just said you're cold." "I didn't complain. I just said I was cold." So a lot of times we'll add in what it is that we're trying to fix, or we'll add in the things that like we think are the problem, and simply sometimes it's just a statement. So it may feel like she's making a threat. So if she's doing ultimatums, like, "If you don't buy me something, then I'm going to leave you."
No.
Well, hold on.
Sorry.
I made it up. That's not. She didn't say it. That's me. That's an example. This is metaphor, hon. Calm down. Put the claws away. We're good.
I'm like, no, you don't do that.
Yeah, she didn't. She didn't. I was making it up. It's make believe. This is a hypothetical. Cool your jets, baby. Cool your jets. But if there's something where there's ultimatums in there, so yeah, that is how. So she threatens, like, "If you don't do this, I'll go and I'll be with someone else, or I'll go and I'll leave." If there's a threat that's on the table that you need to do something, or else she's going to do something harmful to you, what do you think the rest of your relationship looks like when she starts hitting a non-negotiable area for you? When she starts asking you to compromise your values for something that she wants? How do you think she respects a man who won't stand up for what he believes is the right thing to do and will sacrifice it because she's threatening him?
Yeah.
Like, you have to know yourself. You have to have a strong sense of yourself to go, "Babe, that's not the right way to do it. And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you can go ahead and do your threat." And ironically, she may not like that you're standing your ground, but she's going to like that you're standing your ground.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to you guys' questions. So there's some really good ones in here. So Izzy, yes, I will get to your inquiry. My wife is really sensitive and insecure, which I feel she sees things negative rather than the positive in things.
Sure.
How can I help her to see the positive side of things and help her believe it?
Well, find out what happened to her to make her so she was hurt. That makes her feel like she has to be, like, in her head as not good enough, or what makes her insecure, or who's she comparing herself to be not good enough to. It's really funny to watch how people think they're not good enough, but they're the best them that's ever existed.
Yeah,
You know that you're the best you there's ever been in history?
it's true.
And if you ever want to try and be like somebody else, I'm going to save you a lot of heartache. Everyone else is already taken. They're already them, and so you're going to have to be you. But the good news is you're the best you that there's ever been, ever. There's never been a better you or a worse you. You're the best one. Think about it for a second. What are you comparing you to when you're the best you that there is? You beat yourself up for what? Not being somebody else? Well, they're them, and they have problems too. They think they're not good enough. Compared to who? Each one of us is good at some things and not good at other things. That's just it. I'm good at this stuff, but I'm terrible at organizing things. I'm not good at it. That's not my strength. So because I'm not good at organizing, I suck? Like, come on. No.
Yeah.
Be great at what you do. I think Gary Vee says triple down on your strengths. If you're good at something, be great at it.
Absolutely.
But don't think that because somebody else is good at something that's not your thing that you suck.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Okay. What are some tips for men to be better listeners and not hear complaints?
I mean, I'd have to see some of the, like, I'd have to hear some of the conversation stuff to go, like, is that or isn't it? It's hard to say that, like, sometimes it's not a complaint, sometimes it is. You know, and sometimes they are complaining. You know, I don't know. It would really be situational, depending on each dynamic or each relationship, because some people really do complain a lot. So it's hard to say that
They
that's
do.
not what they're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe they really are and you're not crazy.
Right. Yeah. Okay. How well equipped should men be in dealing with wife's emotions? Example, have 2 kids, she wanted third. So are you saying
I don't know
that
if that's an emotion.
there may be emotions if she wants the third and he doesn't?
Well,
so
sure,
we need a little
like,
clarification there.
well, yeah, as far as the thing goes, if I said I'd like to have another baby, that's a request for a lifestyle. That's not necessarily emotional.
Yeah.
And to say like I have an emotional response to you asking that means that you're being emotional. Like, hold on a second, it's just a request. You guys agree or disagree that another kid is a good idea. If you disagree and they get mad, well, it's because they're making demands, not requests.
She carries resentment towards him.
Yeah, she's making demands. So the difference in a demand and a request is the way that somebody handles it. So if I said, I want pizza tonight, and you said, well, we're having, sandwiches. And I'm like, I wanted pizza. Now I'm mad at you for not giving me pizza. I wasn't making a request. I was demanding pizza. And when I didn't get pizza, I had a temper tantrum. I'll punish you. I'll treat you bad because you didn't give me the pizza that I said that I asked for, but I'm actually demanding it. Now, if I said, hey, I want pizza tonight, and she was like, oh, no, we got sandwiches, and I was like, oh, I like sandwiches too. Well, that was a request, and it's not a big deal either way. Do you see the difference on that one? I mean, it's a silly example, but it gets more severe with bigger things.
Yeah, he said because she thought I didn't deal with her emotions of being done having children anymore.
That's not an emotion. That's a demand in this case. It's not an emotion. Emotion is happiness or sadness or despair or pride or emotions are how I feel.
Yeah.
But not getting a third kid is not an emotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a request or demand. Are you guys able to agree that it's a good time? But if you got somebody who's trying to force you into a third kid, that's not really a healthy dynamic to even begin with.
No.
So it's not really stable ground to bring a kid into. This is already rocky ground. If I say, give me a kid or else. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah. My wife thinks I'm emotionally abusive and filed. Is there any coming back from this?
Filed?
Probably filed for divorce.
Oh. If she already filed for divorce and is calling you emotionally abusive as... Like, I don't know if you are or aren't. You might be, you might not be. A lot of times people are judged incorrectly. And again, the court system favors women. She can just say stuff and now you're a villain. So maybe you are, maybe you aren't. I don't know. It's very possible you aren't. If you're asking this question, you're probably not. But is there any coming back from somebody who's already labeled you as a villain in their story? Not back as married to her. But you can evolve into a better version of yourself where you're not being judged and shamed and berated and filed against as some sort of evil monster in their story. You may be able to be a hero in somebody else's. Mm-hmm. So you can be something better than you were with somebody who actually appreciates what you do.
Yeah.
So hard to say. I don't know everything.
Lynn, this is a tough one. My husband doesn't want to be physically intimate but doesn't want to divorce, and he isn't cheating. How do I handle that?
There's something that he's missing. There's something that happened to him that hurts him. And a hurt guy is the only kind of guy who's not going to want to be intimate with his wife. And it also could be some sort of a change in the dynamic, but there is something that changed. Something happened. And it could be, something between you two. It could be like, sometimes when people get in relationships, their bodies change or had a kid and gained 70 pounds or he lost his purpose or his job or like something happened to derail him. And there's something that now he has a block. And if you guys don't address the block, it's not going to be, playing with each other's junk that fixes it. It's going to be fixing the block so you guys can heal. And he's not healing, and he may not feel confident to talk to you about it if you get upset or if you're angry. And that's where guys like me come in, where he talks to me and I help him find his block. And then we remove it so he can be open to love again. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Going back to Wellesley. So talking about the kids not having the third, right? We just got done talking about that.
Sure.
now he says she seems like she wants to leave now because it killed her fire for the relationship. So are you saying that you have 2 kids together? You said we're not having a third, and she's like, well, now I'm going to leave. What is wrong with what is happening? What is happening? I don't get it.
We don't mean to laugh, but
Come on. When you say it out loud, though,
series of
sometimes like I
events.
have to say things out loud to like make sure that I'm not like seeing it differently. But is that what you're saying?
I mean, let's role play it out. I want another kid.
No, we have 2 that are healthy, and right now that's what we can handle.
Well, you're not listening to my emotions.
What are your emotions?
You're not giving me another kid.
No, you're right. I'm not.
I'm leaving then.
Okay. Like, I don't, that doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. It's been 3 years since that. Okay, so
there's a lot of resentment and a lot of just, I can only imagine how intense your days are. Because what kind of love are you guys giving each other in this dynamic where someone's just holding and punishing you for not doing a demand that they wanted to make you do?
Yeah, and I think it would be different. Well, it gives nobody the justification to also treat their significant other the way that this is happening. And my question is, before you guys got married, was there talk like, yeah, for sure we want 3? I mean, we all know things change once you start having 1 kid. But there's no justification for treating each other like that. Yeah. And I would recommend too, reach out to Rick and talk some of it through. That may help too.
Yeah,
It's free. It's free for a call. So.
I got no room here, baby.
Yeah.
2 dogs on my lap.
Well, don't put them on your lap.
Oh, looks like I'm doing something inappropriate, but I'm scratching heads right now. Oh my gracious. Naughty kid. Alright.
Yeah.
You do a lot, buddy.
He's like, I'm older. 2 has been a lot of work. Absolutely. Yep. Someone's married to a hostile roommate. That's tough. That is not good. My ex was telling me the day he broke up with me that he loved me so much, and his reasons for the breakup is I deserve better.
Say that again, please.
My ex was telling me the day he broke up with me that he loved me so much, and the reasons he broke up with me is because she deserves better.
Maybe. There's a lot of shame in that sentence.
Yeah.
There's a lot of self-hate. Yeah, that guy sounds like he's just really hurting really bad. If he's telling you something like that, he probably feels like he's not worthy of loving you. And there may be something that he's done or something he's ashamed of to make him so that he really believes that. It's possible. Or he could just be doing some weird nice guy handbook to go do bad guy stuff. It's hard to say. I don't know the guy. It could be sincere, and it could be from a point of like a lot of damage has been done to himself, and he hates himself, and he doesn't feel worthy of love. There could be a lot of damage, or he could be out doing some sleazy stuff. I don't know the guy, so it's hard to really say, but it's possible.
Yeah.
It's not impossible that it's an authentic thing. He was very insecure, and his wife cheated. Yeah, he's a hurt guy. It sounds like he had a lot of damage in there, and maybe he really had like his heart ripped to pieces, and he realized he's just giving you pieces of a heart and not an actual heart.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that it sounds like he was trying to do what he believed was an act of kindness or service.
Yeah. What do you think is the best to overcome resentment? The best.
Is that Batter? I see you. Happy wishes from Kuwait.
Yeah, hello.
What's up, Batter? I can't wait to see you tomorrow, bud.
What do you think is the best, best thing to do, or best way to overcome resentment? I'm assuming that's what the best way. Yeah, the best way to overcome resentment.
It depends. Who's resenting who? Are you resenting them, or are they resenting you? Because it's a different strategy for forgiveness. You all right, buddy? Am I all right? So this dog right here, this is our boy Apollo. Apollo is an empath dog. He is the sweetest
He
damn
really
creature
is.
in the world.
He really is.
And he gravitates towards whoever is like hurting. If somebody's very sad or working through some stuff, he goes and lays down right next to no matter who it is.
Hey, buddy.
He's an old boy. He's probably 13, 14 now. He's an old man, but he is nothing but love. And
He really,
nothing
he's the
but
sweetest.
sweetness.
The poor little guy just started having seizures. So
Yeah, it's a new
he
thing.
took him to the vet, and they're like, everything came back great. He's super healthy. So just monitor the seizures. So, little buddy.
But if he's on me like this, I wonder if
Well, you
I'm
picked
okay.
him up. So
Yeah. But he came gravitating to me. I wonder if maybe I need some hugs. Oh my.
yeah, he is sweet. He's a sweet dog.
No one's ever met this dog and been like, this dog's
Everybody
awesome.
loves
Everybody
Apollo.
this guy. He's the
Everybody
sweetest.
loves him.
He's the sweetest. You're the sweetest kid.
Okay. Do you do one-on-one calls? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yep. Click the link at the top and schedule an appointment.
You might
right-
have to leave the video to get to it because that's what people have been doing. It's in our profile.
Yeah.
But yes, click the link and it goes right to our calendar. And I interrupted you, didn't I?
Nope, you got it. You
Sorry,
got it.
babe.
Nope, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good. You get further and further away from the camera, though. I feel like I'm like sitting in it, and you're like in the next room over.
That's why we have microphones.
Yep. Yeah.
I see I'm running into a pet peeve.
I'm glad we can laugh at each other. Like,
If
can we take them?
you want to,
I'll take 'em.
you're gonna have a different colored shirt. In a
It's
second.
okay. It's okay.
Boy, shedding.
Yeah, he's alright. Yeah.
Thank you, Lauren. Super sweet.
Okay, someone asked, what is different about dating now versus 5 years ago?
A lot of things is different now, especially the online scene has become very different. So that's probably the harder part about it. And also there's a lot of things have changed as far as how women are being treated online has become far weirder. Like, as I come closer. Oh, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, scoot your
I'll hear
chair
that
up.
request. Let's go.
You can scoot the whole chair up.
Hey,
What?
I can operate this chair. Thank you. I love you, but slow down. I can figure this chair out. I got it.
The chair's mobile.
I can figure it out. I got this. I'm comfortable. So, babe.
Oh,
All right, what was I
God.
just talking about before you told me how to use a chair?
Dating
Dating
now.
today, dating
Yeah.
today. Okay.
5 years ago.
So things have changed. There's different things that have happened with the whole swiping system and OnlyFans and DMs getting blown up by guys and guys becoming far more aggressive when it comes to online dating. And I'm not saying better, just more aggressive. You know, it's become a really toxic environment because when people have access to sending you a direct information, there's not usually a lot of tact involved to it. And this also opens up like low quality guys to be able to just blow up your DMs. When there's so much noise with that happening, there's two things that are happening. Women who don't have a lot of value or are low value women are getting blown up by like a lot of low value guys, making them feel like their value is higher than it is. This also makes them oblivious to an actual high-value guy, because then a high-value guy just looks like a guy, because there's so many DMs.
Yeah.
And so if it's just, you know, what's up, hottie, what's up, sexy, hey, pretty, hey, girl, hey, you fine, check this out, here's a picture of my penis. Like, if there's just a bombardment of just madness. And then a decent dude is like, hey, you know, I came across your stuff, I'd really like to meet you. Like, oh my God, another one of these. Like, you wouldn't know a good guy from a bad guy with online dating, because sometimes bad guys are even using the good guy handbook to get your attention so they can be bad guys. Like, it's a really hostile environment. And so, truth be told, I would say, actually, let me do a little reflection here. Every single guy, every guy who I've worked with has gone into the online dating pool, and it's kind of where all of the people who aren't really high values and high morals and looking for something solid are going to be able to find connection or find sex or find any kind of gratification, it's become a very unsafe place because you're with somebody who's been burning and churning people because their instant gratification is just kicked on, that if this doesn't work, there's another one. If this doesn't work, there's another one. And it's made somebody with low values and low standards like change who they are to say everyone's the same. They're not the same. But you couldn't tell a good one if it fell on your face. You wouldn't know the difference. And so then it makes it so that their qualification system becomes very screwed up. Like to where a girl who doesn't bring anything to the relationship is now going to cancel a good guy because he didn't match his shoes to his belt.
Nicholas.
Like, what?
Nicholas said facts, it's a numbers game, but it's all low vibrational trash.
It kind of is. And that's what I've noticed with every one of my men.
Oh my
every
gosh.
one of my guys who goes into this game, what we found is for them to actually find somebody who matches what their values are or matches what they love, they're finding somebody who's not in that game. So what I do with my guys is I teach them to be their best them, work on the things that they want to do, find hobbies and interests that they are interested in doing, and what ends up always happening is during like pushing their limits to be more social or going to events that they've never gone to before or learning a new skill or joining a cycling class or hiking with friends or just getting out and doing things to enjoy who they are, enjoy life or learn new things. They're finding people who have similar interests who are also not in the shit show of online dating because they want somebody who has values like they do, and online is not where it is. So it's kind of one of those things that they've opened up the floodgates for people who are low value to have free access to everybody, and it's messed up the perspective of a good value or a valuable person. They all look the same in that game. So seems like the high value people aren't playing online dating anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So go do something that you love to do, and you'll find someone else who does the same things that you love to do.
Yeah. I'm probably looking for something, like looking for that authentic connection. Yeah. Bones, you keep asking this question. I think this is you. Is him saying you're married an excuse? We don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. I don't know what that the excuse
I don't even know
but
if
the
he's-
answer is hell
I don't
yeah,
even know
it's
if
excuses.
I don't even know if he's talking about us. So
don't
maybe
know.
just a little bit more clarification there.
Yeah, see if you can see what it is, because I don't know what it is, but that's our excuse.
Yeah.
They're like, you guys swingers? We're like, no. They're like, is it because you're married? Yes.
Yeah.
That's our excuse.
No, even if I was single, that wouldn't be my life. Oh my gosh. Yeah, filters do lie. For sure. I stopped using filters on all of my photos a long time ago because, I mean, it doesn't look anything like me. So I'm like, what's the point? I mean, not even for dating, just for real life, because we also are training 3 teenage girls. And if I'm constantly putting a filter on my pictures, what is that saying?
Yeah, be authentic.
Yeah.
You are who you are, and that's awesome. Thoughts on couples therapy? I think that if you have a good therapist, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it's way better to get a perspective from somebody who can look at it from a point of view you can't see. The people who have the most perspectives, the most points of view, will be the wisest in the room. So be open to all options or all points of view, and then you can still have your values or still do what you believe is the best one, but it's always better to hear other ones, which is why cancel culture has been failing itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. When you cancel other perspectives, you can't make the best choice because you're eliminating options to learn. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's never worked, ever.
Yeah.
And so it's okay to have somebody who has a bad opinion. Doesn't mean you have to do it. You just go, I see your bad opinion, but I still think this is better, so I'm going to go this way.
Because everyone has
That's
an
fine.
opinion. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Tips for those who have opposite love languages or at least struggle at them.
Agreements. These are agreements, guys. And there's a point, too, where if you have somebody without willingness to be able to make an agreement of like, hey, I love, when you buy me things, I really love gifts. That makes me feel like you think of me. And you have somebody who's like, I like hugs. And they go, well, I'm not buying you any gifts. Well, I'm not giving you any hugs. If there's no willingness, well, what are you guys doing? Like, what is it? And I would actually go farther to say, take an inventory of what your justification is for not loving the other person the way that they need. Like, soak that question in. What is your justification for not loving somebody the way that they need? That's an excuse. Those excuses are probably the most toxic part of your relationship. Well, I'm touched out. Well, what if he's been paying bills at work all day and he's just billed out and doesn't want to pay for anything for you anymore? Is that fair? Well, no. What if he just bought a bunch of stuff for the people at work because they just earned some new stuff, so he paid for a bunch of prizes for them, and it's like, well, I'm not buying you gifts anymore. I'm gifted out, so I don't want to do your love language. You know, these things aren't fair. It's like, you know what? I spend so much time with other people today that I'm quality timed out, so I don't want to spend any time with you. These justifications are toxic to all relationships. So if someone says, I spent today with the kids, so I don't want to touch you, what does one have to do with the other one? Mm-hmm. These excuses are toxic to your relationship, and if you have a justification why you won't love somebody the way you agreed that you would love them forever, it's not their love language that's the problem. It's you changing the rules as a demand, and it's not their love language that's the problem. It's you changing the rules as a demand and having a justified reason why you won't love them the way that they need it.
Yeah.
The way you agreed to do it when you married them. It's that part.
Yeah.
Are you saying that she should never have boundaries and he can do anything he wants?
That's where you catch yourself saying that you're adding.
No.
Yeah.
I am saying, why don't you love someone the way you promised you would?
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, Bones, thank you.
Yeah,
I just saw that come through, so thank you.
Yeah.
Bones, okay, you're married and left. So my first question is, are you divorced or are you still legally married? Okay, because this, I think, will tie into the question. I'm married and left, and talking to a guy, and you're married comes up. Is that an excuse? So I think what you're asking is, you've left your marriage. We don't know if you're divorced yet. And now you're out dating. And the guy says, well, I can't date you. You're still married. I don't think that's an excuse. I think that may be a true on, like, I'm not going, it could be someone doesn't want to get hurt. It could be a million different reasons. Some people do not want to date anyone or be with anyone that is still legally married.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
yeah.
Also, yeah, it could go. I mean, you got to think about it, too. I think people don't take inventory on their own resume. If you met him and he's like, hey, I'm still married, but you want to get together? Mm-hmm. Well, that's just like a strike. Like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Like, get divorced first and then start a new relationship.
Yeah.
Because, first off, if you're still married, that means you haven't gone through the rest of the shit show yet, which means you probably still have a whole lot of baggage for the reason why you're getting divorced that you're still in the middle of, and you're telling that person, listen, I haven't dealt with a lot of stuff yet, and I'm still in the middle of stuff I'm going to have to deal with, and it's going to suck. You want on board this train? No. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
and so that's one of those things where you may be done with your old relationship, but your old relationship isn't done with you yet, and that person has to take on that baggage. It's a big request.
Yeah. Okay. My wife is divorcing me because she got tired of waiting for me to heal from my depression.
That's hard.
How do I recover any self-confidence?
Call me.
Call
me.
Book a call with him.
I'll help you work through that one.
Yeah.
Call me.
And here's what I will tell you too. Right now, we are full. June's booked out to talk to Rick for sure. We're into July.
We'll follow.
But
let him send me a message.
But I'm gonna follow you right now, and so if you need an appointment before then, just reach out.
Who is it?
Riddle Dark
00.
Yeah.
So we followed you back, bud. Go ahead and send me a DM.
No, I think I don't know if you're following us or not, but we follow you. We're following you now. Following you now.
You should be following. It's so silly. No, but send us a direct message, bud. I'll talk to you.
Bud. I like it.
The guy's in hell. That can be nice.
Yeah. Well, no, I like that bud's a newer word for you, and I like it.
Well.
Bud. Remember earlier today in the car, and I was like,
Making fun of my endearments? Yes.
I wasn't making fun of you. We were goofing around.
That's true.
Right, bud?
You had a good joke.
I did have a good joke.
You had a good joke.
Usually I'm just laughing at my own stuff. But today he laughed with me, and that was great. Thank you. Yeah, it's his the program that he does is pretty great. And this is what I will say, because we did have someone book a call, and and I appreciate the honesty, because one of the comments was like, well, I'm not really up for scams. Like, I hope this isn't a scam. I 100%, because, you know, I know how, what is it, multi-level marketing can go. And I think everybody's just kind of weary in general. Like, I know if I sign up for this call, I'm going to have to pay. And then all of a sudden now you have to sell to this many people before we help you with your issues. It's much simpler than that. Let me break it down for you. If you're a guy and that needs to talk through things and wants to join a group of men that are going through it together, where they offer no blame, no shame, no judgment, you book a call. Booking a call is free. Then Rick has a conversation with you. It says 45 minutes. You'll be there for an hour, so allow yourself time, because he loves people. And you're going to talk for an hour. Then he's going to see, would this person be the right fit for my group? If so, he'll talk to you about it. He'll say, hey, this is what it is to join. And then you get to choose.
In or out.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's no hard pressure. You don't have to sell anything. Some guys I can't help, and that I can't charge you for something I can't help you with. And some guys you're a perfect match, and I'll make you an offer.
Yeah. How do I get my husband to see his mental health is important?
I mean, I don't know what he's working through, so I don't know. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to say. I don't know what his thing he's struggling with is, so it's hard to say. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
Not enough information. I'm gonna let these dogs out.
Who?
I let the dogs out.
Who?
I did.
All right, what other...
You massage an obstacle course, baby.
All right, what other questions you guys got for us? I'll make sure I didn't miss any here. I'm sure I did. I know I did.
Come on, fellas. Go on.
Yeah, I think we got majority of them. Love that you two can laugh together like that. Thank you. We laugh quite often. Laughter is definitely something that helps both of us, because when I'm feeling a little like bossy or like over the top, and usually I'm aware of when I'm doing it, because it becomes annoying to me. And then he'll say something smart back to me, especially when we have office days on the same days, because I don't always work from home. But when I do, sometimes I get a little bossy, or like he'll be slurping his coffee and it like sends me over the edge, and I'll just kind of look at him and he'll make some smart ass comment back to me, and I just start laughing. That's all it takes. Pretty simple, right?
Pretty simple.
Right? No, I'm kidding.
So simple, babe. So simple.
Yeah, this guy's a good one. I have one. Andrea, what advice would you have for women who tend to speak more in our love language? What advice do you have for women that speak more in our love language? How do you remember what men need to feel better?
Words of affirmation. Maybe?
Yeah. Maybe I'm not clear on the question.
I think she says you guys have similar love languages.
Yeah, so my love language is touch and quality time.
It is flipped, baby.
What is flipped?
Quality time is your main one. Touch is your secondary.
No, it's not.
Oh. Baby. I'll redo the test with you again. I'm not trying to just be right here, but I remember doing it with you, and we both were quality time first.
Yeah. So good.
So how do you speak quality time?
How do I speak quality time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't speak quality time.
You do it like this. It's your love
Oh,
language.
yeah.
Language.
Yeah, if I go somewhere, I'll ask him if he wants to come with. Like, come and hang out with me.
That's rare.
At night, we do have, like, it's almost like a routine that we do. Like,
Talking about having sex?
No.
What are you talking about? A routine?
no, but, like, we go to bed together. Like, we don't live in, like, the household where, like, he stays up and watches TV. We have a TV in the bedroom. He doesn't stay up, like, downstairs in another room. We go to bed together. And that's something that I really like. That's important to me. But we also have an understanding of what we took the love languages test together a long time ago. And we've come up with agreements and things that we do like. Now, I am lucky this guy has the same love languages as I do, but they're flipped. So, what? What is so funny?
It's funny because I know we did this together, so I just know what it is, and so it's funny that
You remember everything.
it's not a big deal. It's fine, but it's just silly that you're like, no, I changed it. I'm like, okay.
For me, they seem equal in my mind. They really do. They really do.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay. I'm dating someone that gets triggered a lot, and I get upset and want to step away and calm down.
Fight or flight, and someone who's getting angry a lot. What are they getting triggered from? Just a rough idea. Usually there's some sort of anger is an outward expression or a way that people hurt others based either on something that was taken from them or an injustice that they feel is happening. There are other things that could be happening, but generally that's where I start before I start chipping away into what it really is. But a lot of times when somebody has a high sense of justice and they feel something's not fair or not right, they'll outburst and they'll attack somebody. Most of the time this comes from something that happened when they were young.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is that's triggering them, or it could just be the algorithms that they're in. There's a lot of stuff right now that are telling people you're supposed to be angry at things and they're not thinking for themselves. Yeah. So if they say you're supposed to hate, the president, or you're supposed to hate this person, or you're supposed to be mad at this, or you're supposed to hate, hate, maybe they're getting triggered because their belief system is getting inundated.
Yeah.
I'd have to see. I don't know what the person's lifestyle is like.
Yeah. And Phil, going to bed at the same time is important to me. Now, let's be fair. If I'm like 7:30, I'm going to bed, I'm not going to be like, come to bed with me. I'll wait up for him. But for me, it's important. I feel like we go to bed at like a decent time. But our days, him and I we're so busy with so many different things. And it really is a way for us, if we haven't connected like all day, and sometimes we're like ships passing in the night and or in the day, then it's our time to like connect with each other, talk to each other where it's quiet and there's no distractions. So I mean, we don't know. It's not like we go to bed and go to sleep. So we have a TV in our room. Sometimes he's like watching TV or stuff.
Usually stuff.
What if the feeling one love language feeds bigger than test results? Typically, you have a primary and a secondary love language.
Well, let's just make it easy for you guys. We have all of them. It's just some of them are a higher priority than others. If gift giving is your last one, it's not your main love language, it doesn't mean you hate Christmas. You know what I mean? So we have all of them. On your birthday, if someone gets you a gift, but it's your lowest love language, it doesn't mean you return the gift or throw it in the garbage. It just means it's not the way that fills you up the most. And so we have all of them. Everyone does. But based on what we've been through our life, like we just have ones that mean more and ones that mean less. And that's all it is. So it's not saying you're right or you're wrong or this one's better or that one's worse. We have all of them. So don't put too much clout into like, oh, well, the test said this and I don't believe it's right. It's okay. We have all of them. We all do.
Yeah.
It's just some mean more than others, and that's the thing.
Yep.
Usually stuff. Phil got it. Hey Phil, go ahead and ring lead. Go ahead and get us over 30,000 likes today. That's your job.
Oh, happy birthday. 34th birthday. Calling all vets. Yes, happy birthday.
My birthday. Made it this far.
Yeah,
you did.
happy birthday.
Congratulations.
34.
The best is yet to come.
Yeah.
No, keep it going, man. Happy birthday.
Keep it going. He's like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
that's
quit.
awesome.
Don't quit having these birthdays. You're doing great.
Yeah. 30s are good.
30s are good. 30s
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Good evening.
Good evening.
Is it Tessie 410? Tessie 410?
I don't know. How do you make yourself easier to be told the truth rather than lied to?
Interesting. Let me say it again.
How do you make yourself easier to be told the truth rather than lied to?
I would really be interested to see the interaction. Only because if it could be that you're adding a filter that you're being lied to when you're not, which I've seen happen one way, but also easier to be told the truth. Maybe you're coming off a little more hostile or aggressive than you may think you are. And so people are like, I'm just not wanting to talk to you about it. So if you're not able to be like a safe place for someone to open up to or be authentic or tell you the truth, people are going to be standoffish in communicating with you. If people are shutting down around you or not wanting to open up to you, that's a good progress report that it might be you who's the communication issue. So there's a big possibility it's your approach. On the other hand, some people are very guarded, and some people may not be telling you the whole story, and that's a different thing too. So it's possible it could be either way. We don't know you well enough.
So I've got a pattern of being lied to, trying to know how to be safe for them to tell me.
Yeah, but if you've got a pattern of being lied to, I really would probably guess that you're expecting somebody to lie, so you're looking for a lie, or you make it a lie even if they're telling the truth, or like, you're not telling me everything. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of an aggressive approach here. Even just hearing the words that you're using implies that there's some sort of like, you are being wronged when somebody's talking to you. And if you have that filter attached to even the truth, it'll look like a lie. So that's just going off of your words you're using. I know that there's not a lot of characters to type out what you really feel, so.
Yeah. And thank you, Chuck. He said, I really appreciate your content. It is relevant in men's health, and most of it is not shared. And you are right. The men's suicide rate's 3 times higher than women's.
Yeah.
And suicide rates across the board for women and men are not slowing down, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm a suicide expert, but it is something that I've dealt with multiple times with my guys. I've pulled a lot of guys off the edge.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what my job is. It is my job, but it's not my specialty. But I have done it multiple times. So, you know, maybe I'm downplaying my skill on this, but I've pulled guys out of hell pretty hard on that stuff.
Yeah.
Each guy's different too. It's not the same strategy. There's a lot involved to that.
Yeah.
So.
I hear you, Josh. There's not enough characters to get a question across.
Yeah.
Can you talk about touch as a love language?
Here's the thing, and this is what I saw, and especially this is why we stay out of that like Melissa post, like the F My Life one, because that one gets way off into the weeds with people adding stuff touch. They add stuff to it. When it comes to touch, there's agreements. There's good touch and bad touch. I know that if I like rub her back because I love her, like this is comforting touch to her. But if I smear her makeup, she's gonna get pissed. That's not good touch for her. She doesn't like that. You know what I mean? So we understand, or we know each other to a point where there's things that she likes and doesn't. She doesn't like when I poke her. She hates that. So if I'm like, hey babe, she's like, don't hey babe me that way. She doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But if I go like, hey babe, check this out, she'll be like a little more interested because you did it the way that I like it. If you're not able to articulate the way that you like to be touched and the way that you don't like to be touched, it's going to be hard for someone to reciprocate in a way that's valuable to you.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, Lauren said, like, don't touch the hair either. Yeah, if I start messing her hair up, she's very particular. And so if I start doing things that mess up her particulars, that's not love anymore. Now she gets frustrated.
Yeah.
But if I touch her appropriately, like in ways that she does like being touched, well, then that's good. So those are just agreements that we have as far as what boundaries there are. I also am the same way. There are certain things I don't like.
He doesn't like his arm grabbed.
Don't grab me. Don't try and hold me down.
Yeah.
Don't do stuff like that. I will flip you. Don't do that. Like, if you're being too aggressive, I'll show you that was a bad idea. Like, don't do things like that. Don't treat me in a bad way, and I don't want to treat you in a bad way. But I'd never like grab her by the neck or push her down or hold her down or mess up her makeup or hurt her hair or stick my finger in her ear. Like, don't do stuff that people don't like.
Yeah.
And I think it's really rough when you see people also initiate an intimacy in a way that's not the way they like it initiated. And I think that's where I saw a lot of the communication, like, oh, so he should just be able to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. First off, stop it. Stop it, you. Like, nobody's saying anything like that, obviously. If you're married to somebody, it's not like, oh, a rape situation. It's not. That's your husband. Now, if he's approaching you in a way that you don't like that's not good intimacy to you, have a conversation about what is good intimacy. Don't just go like, I guess I'll just have to shut up and take it. What a weird approach to your husband. Mm-hmm. This isn't like Game of Thrones where you've just been married off and you have to do whatever the boss says.
That's not what that is. Yeah.
You're in a relationship. Act like it.
Yeah. And
what about the spider monkey attack? That's for us. That's appropriate, Phil. She loves the spider monkey attack.
What? I don't know what that is.
Yes, you do.
What is it?
I'm just kidding.
What is it?
He's joking.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to demonstrate the spider monkey attack?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Like when we're here together, if we're walking down the same hallway and we don't touch each other, it's so weird. It's so weird. Like usually, I feel like one of us will say we'll say something like,
"Yeah, you'll be like your hands full." Okay. Oh no, you like.
Back it up.
His ass didn't get hit on the way by. What's up?
Oh my gosh. All right. I love to be touched, but I hate to be tickled. She would tickle and say, "You know you like it." It sounds like she's just being playful. Rick does that too.
Well, yeah,
he likes it though.
There's a degree if it's like I really don't like that.
Sometimes tickling hurts or it becomes annoying. It's no different than you're like doing
like,
it to my face.
Or like when you want to try and do that thing where you dig into my hip because you think it's hilarious. And I'm like, you do know I'm going to get you if you do that. And you're like, I can't stop myself because I'm so naughty.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm getting you. I'm like, oh, I'm kidding.
And you're like, I hate being gotten.
That's so true.
I think the point is with touch is make some agreements that are good touch and bad touch. Understand each other and have the conversation. And agreements, not demands. Don't yell and don't make ultimatums. Just, hey, this is the way that I like it. How do you like it? And then be respectful of each other because you're in it for the long haul. So don't treat each other bad. Now, when it comes to the other way, which you guys saw in the video, when people deny your touch, it's a really tough rejection.
Yeah.
If she was like, if you were gonna hold my hand because you loved me. And I was like this.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, it's just not like, ew, what do you want?
I hate it.
Like, that rejection. And what's really hard is I see people who are both touch and words of affirmation who are like, babe, can we be intimate today? I would love, to have sex with my person. And they go, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want that. Not only are they denying the physical aspect, they're also verbally denying them. And that means that they're getting 2 rejections at once for their highest forms of love. Mm-hmm. This causes a lot of pain instantaneously, and I don't care what your excuse is. I got a headache, or my body, my choice. Don't smash somebody who's trying to love you. Be tactful. Be cool. Don't be a jerk about it. Like, I don't feel like it, or no, I don't want to. If you're being the selfish person, and then you're blaming them for being selfish, you're the toxic one. You're the one who's breaking the agreements. You vowed to each other, I will love you, honor you. I will be the one person that you're allowed to have sex with, that we don't go and have sex with other people. You don't get to get these needs met from other people.
Yeah.
So it's you and me, babe. We're the ones that do that together. And then when one person goes, you know what? I'm not doing that with you anymore. But you can't do it with other people still, because that would break our vow. Well, aren't you breaking our vow when you just said, I'm going to love, honor, and it's going to be you and me, you and me? Aren't you breaking your promises that we don't sleep with other people, but now you're choosing not to sleep with me?
Yeah.
We made a promise, a vow, a commitment to each other that you are not going to keep. and you say, I'm the one who's unfaithful.
Right. Don't let the tables turn, because then it'll be...
If he cheats on you, he's a piece of shit. You broke your promise a long time ago to love him. That counts. That counts. And so it's one of those things, and this goes both ways, obviously. If you break your promise to the other person, it counts in more ways than just cheating. And so when it comes to touch and it comes to love, if you're denying somebody those things, you're breaking your promise. And if you need it done a specific way, be an adult, because you're in an adult relationship, and talk about it.
Yep.
That's it. It's you guys make it way too complicated. What if I just shut down? Then you're not going to get what you want. What if I yell at them and make them feel bad? Then you're not going to get what you want.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. It's that simple, you guys. Chill it out. Don't be the toxic one in the relationship, and if you have a justification for it, you're the problem, not them. Boom, yeah.
Nailed it. Nailed it. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Drop the mic.
Yep. Yep. Okay. We're in a, what is LDR? Long distance relationship. I'm getting better at these. Okay. We're in a long distance relationship and our love language is quality time.
Right.
She's not being as talkative lately. That's hard.
In a long distance relationship, doubt's going to creep in no matter who you are. It doesn't matter how confident you are, how strong you are in knowing yourself, what your values and all your things are. If you're in a long distance relationship, doubt is going to start fucking with you at some point. If she's just having a sleepy day, you're going to be like, why is she so sleepy? Who's she with? Why is she so tired? What did she get tired from doing? Did she have so much sex? How much sex did she have? Who's she having sex with? Oh my God. Like, all these things start creeping in, and she just may have had a long day.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That's tough.
And so you start getting all these doubts, and I've seen people with no jealousy get very jealous.
Yeah.
Like, long distance
I couldn't do
fucks
it.
with your brain.
I couldn't do it.
It makes you make up things that aren't real and then get mad about the things you made up. Long distance relationship is, it's always hard. You're going to just make up false realities. You know, even worse is when you see somebody active. Like it's 3 a.m. and it shows they're active and not responding to you. Oh, you'll go crazy. They may have just left the PC on.
Nope, not doing that.
You know, but you're going to be like, I saw you were active last night at 3 a.m. You'll be like, no, I was in bed already.
Were you?
Oh, no, I saw you active.
Were you, though?
No, you weren't in bed.
No, ugh.
It showed you active. Like, well, I left my computer open and it was on your screen, so it may have looked active to you.
I can't.
You know, whether it's true or not true, your brain's going to go crazy.
Yeah. My brain would go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What about people with sensory issues like ADHD and ASD? There's sometimes issues with drive and desire.
I don't know. I'd have to talk to those people a little more directly because everybody's different when it starts getting into disorders.
Yeah.
So I mean, some people are extreme cases and some people are mild cases. It's a very different conversation.
Yeah.
Let's see. You have a body dysmorphic disorder. Ironically, I think almost everybody does. It's just the levels of extremities. Like, how far do you go with it? And a lot of times, if you really get into that body dysmorphia, whenever I work with people on that, where did it come from? Who are you comparing yourself to?
Yeah.
Again, it gets back to, like, being able to understand yourself. And if you're thinking that you need to be something that you're not, well, what is it that you're comparing yourself to be? And once you can really knock down the layers of the comparisons and why you're not good enough and you need to be something different, then you can start to heal. But if you're always having that like Pinterest or Instagram comparison that this person looks like this, so that's what I should look like, you'll always be unhappy with yourself and think you're not good enough. And it could also come from people who have bullied you or people who have rejected you or somebody who was would always make comments like if you got small boobs and he's like, I like big boobs, or like big butt and he likes small butts, or vice versa, like your dick's not big enough, or why don't you have muscles? Like there's these things that people will just judge and shame and destroy people and then feel totally justified because that's what I like, but you're just hurting people.
Yeah.
When people start going like, I only like guys who are 6'5", and you go like, well, I'm only 5'10", well, you're not good enough. Be like, well, I'm supposed to hate myself because you made up some weird, ridiculous thing that you like. Like that's like less than like
No.
1% of humans, and you're like,
I
that's
think-
the only ones you like. What
And
are
I
you
think
doing?
as women, we're naturally so much harder on ourselves because we're, again, it's easy to compare with what we see on billboards or what we see. You know, I work in the beauty industry. I've worked in the beauty industry for over 20 years. I see it all. And I'll share a story with you guys. You know, sometimes when I'm helping people, you know, especially the younger generations, but it can go into like my age, like the 40s too. And people come in and they show me a picture of what they want to look like, right? And the picture usually has a filter on it. It's photoshopped. And I'll say to them, let's look around. I want to look around with you together, okay? Let's look around this place that we're in. Who do you see that looks like that? And when I do this, every single time they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. No one. Yeah, exactly. No one looks like this. No one does.
Even funnier, the person in the photo doesn't look like
even
this
look
either.
That is my point. So we're so critical of ourselves, and more critical of ourselves than our guys are. And I know, Sierra, I think I saw that you were married. Like, we're more critical of ourselves than our significant other will be.
Oh,
I can tell you that.
I'll tell you right now, guys are way less critical than
Yeah,
you give them
yeah.
credit for.
Yeah. So we have to stop comparing ourselves, and I know it's easier said than done, to other things or other people, because you as an individual will always have something that someone else wants, right? Yeah. And that's something that I had to learn a long time ago, that even if I don't have the perfect body, I bet I have another characteristic that person with the perfect body would want from me. And here's another story for you ladies. I worked in a swimming suit store for about 3 years. And when I'm telling you, when you talk about body dysmorphia, the women that would come in, that I would perceive them as like, man, they have a great body. Like, they're beautiful. I'm not kidding you, would sit in the mirror and pick themselves apart, where it became awkward for me because I'm like, I'm giving them so many compliments. How come they don't see this, right? It's majority of women do this. Be kind to yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Like he said before, you are the best you that there's ever been. Be that. And be proud of who you are.
Yeah, what's her name? I can't see.
Sierra. She said, I don't compare myself to anyone, just past versions of me. And that's another thing, but you are no longer that person. I had to stop doing that too. Yeah, it can be tough.
Well, here, let me just help a lot of you guys for past versions of you guys.
Yes.
A lot of times I see, even working with couples or talking to people, that it's like, I just wish that we were the way we were started. Or I just wish we were back to when we began. Or I just wish we had that flame back. Or I just wish I looked like this again. You had a kid, or you've been through too much, or you had some traumatic stuff, or you had some big fights. Who you were is not who you are. You know too much. You've been through too much. You've done too many things. You can't go backwards, but you can go forward.
Yeah.
You're going to have to evolve into a better version of who you are. And when you stop trying to be something you can't be because it's the past, and you try and focus on being something that you're meant to be, which is the future, you can evolve into something that knows more, does better, and can be better. Now, if there's things about you you want to change, the future you is able to do it, but you can't be past you anymore because you know too much.
Yeah.
You've been through too many things. You can't do it. But if you want to lose weight, start doing the stuff that loses weight. If you want to gain weight or be stronger, start doing stuff that makes you stronger. If you want more endurance, or you want longer hair, or you want whatever, start doing the things that give you the things that you want. Stop trying to be what was, because what's coming is better.
Yeah.
And like, it's
Absolutely.
tough too. I think with women there is a difficult thing. And it goes with both things, because guys, as we get older, women have the burden of beauty. And so they have to be beautiful for attraction for guys. Guys have the burden of performance. We have to be capable or do things to get attention from women. And so there's that thing, as we get older, beauty disappears. It's a depreciating asset. And guys' abilities to do things. We can't be the quarterback anymore. We can't be the track star or the power lifter. Like, we start losing what those things are. And we want to be like, I want to be as strong as I was when I was 20, or I want to be as beautiful as I was when I was 18. It's like, well, you're 44 now, so you're not going to do that.
It'd be weird if I look like a child again.
Yeah, if you turn into an 18-year-old again, you're going to be a weirdo. It's not good. You'd look odd. No, be you, the best version of you. But it's going to be more
like,
mental,
why are you
more spiritual.
Why does it look like you're dating your dad? How weird would that? Anyway, that's funny. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Okay, sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Funny imagination you went into. I get arrested for dating a 40.
I'm 42, but I went back to I'm 18. Now it's just weird.
Like, why am I less attracted to you?
Yeah, okay,
am I attracted to kids?
Yeah, that's weird.
Aries, stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, for real. After your workout. Thanks for getting your workout for us. Baby, how long have we been on this? We do these for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm really tired.
And you go from being like hyped to like snoring.
I used so much energy in that last rant.
I know. I'm proud of you. Oh my gosh. Where do you find the right people?
We did talk about that earlier in this video, actually. So what I'm going to do is I say we go to bed. I load this video up on our YouTube, and you can check it out later, because I went in pretty deep on it. Okay. You do look sloppy, my friend. Thank you.
No, sleepy.
Thanks. Oh, so sleepy? Oh. I am. I am sleepy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, baby, let's go to bed. It's like 9:30. Let's get some sleep. I have to see the girls too. I haven't gotten to see them very much.
They're not here. That's why.
That makes sense too. When you say it like that.
Yeah, no, we're central. No, they're hanging out with Grandma tonight, so they'll be home in an hour.
An hour with no kid, you say?
Mm-hmm.
An hour with no kids, huh? Let's go. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're gonna call it a night here. Definitely tired, but very thankful we got to spend some time with you. Hopefully, some of this years of wisdom is able to come in to help you guys out. Thank you guys for helping us out. Phil, do me a favor. I need you to drum tap. I need all of you guys to drum tap.
He said I didn't get you 30,000 sloppy.
We need 30,000 because I'm so sloppy tonight. Go ahead and just I actually did this earlier on a guy's thing, and I did like the drum thing. It's really rewarding to do the likes. Like just drum beat the likes. It's really rewarding, actually.
Well, now that I'm logged in as my other account.
Get it.
I can help.
Try to keep the beat. Hit those likes.
Well, like at the top, it you see what it does? It like
I'm keeping to the beat that these people are hitting right
now.
No,
do you see what goes on right there? Like you hit it, and then it like maxes out.
Yeah, it does. I'm maxed out on these people's likes. You guys are rocking.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and then it like puts confetti out.
What?
I don't even know. I still don't understand TikTok. Is YouTube the same name? I don't see it in your bio. So if you click the link and then scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see it there.
Yeah, we put all the links on the link that we have at the top goes to all of our stuff. So you'll see at the bottom there's the Facebook, there's the Spotify, you've got us on YouTube, all that stuff. So yeah, look at you guys hitting those likes. You guys are awesome. Crank it. But yeah, I'll post this video up tomorrow. I'll put this up because it takes like an hour and a half for this to load. And yeah, for then, like you guys can watch this again. And I hope that some of it helps.
Yeah.
Otherwise, come on, are we almost there? Are we at 30,000 yet? This is Phil's crushing it right now.
Yeah, we're almost there.
It. Somebody else, 404. Jamie BD. Oh, there he is, Mr. Farms. Is it BD Farms? I can't see his name, but he was killing it yesterday too. Jamie, we're so far away.
It's funny how
JMP Gallery smashing.
Oh yeah, we're good.
Oh yeah.
It's funny how we just sit here in silence and just everybody's tapping.
I'm just loving the beat. You guys are crushing it right now. I love it.
Oh my
we
goodness.
made it.
Yeah.
We made it 30K.
Well,
you guys are awesome.
Thank you, Lauren, too, for helping out and answering some questions. We appreciate you
so
much.
Appreciate you guys. let's
Yeah.
all get some rest. Tomorrow's Sunday. It's the weekend. We love spending time with you guys on the weekend, so don't be surprised if we jump on tomorrow. At least,
Possibility.
yeah, we'll jump on for 10 minutes / 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like I was tapping your forehead, whatever it takes. Thank
whatever
you.
it takes. Get it. Thank you.
All right, you guys have a good night. Have a good weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Yes, get sloppy.